So official. Okay, so holy cow, Summit was incredible. And I have a few girls from this team that want to share their heart about what they learned, what they walked away with. I have a few things that I want to share as well, but I'm going to share at the end to make sure that they get to share what they want to and I don't steal any of their words, because I'm sure a lot of us have similar thoughts. But I just want each and every one of you listening to this live and also listening to the recording to just open up your mindset and your heart to the possibility of why not me? Okay, so just have that mentality and thought as you listen tonight, because I think that could be like the biggest catapult into things that we haven't even seen happen yet. So I do not have a list of who's going to go first, but I do have people that want to speak that have told me that they are going to talk tonight. So I'm just going to let those people go for it. Whoever wants to be first.
Don't all go at once.
You were unmuted. I thought you were going to go first.
Oh, no. Well, I can go first. So I was able to attend Friday night. I would have been there for the full thing, but my wedding is this year, so PTO is like gone. What did I learn? My goodness. First and foremost, coming back to this team call on Sunday after spending time with people face to face is just so different. Like, I saw Brittany's face pop up first thing when I got on the call, and I was like, Brittany, yay! So it's the joy you get to have in just being with these ladies, but it's also this unique energy of women who just want to lift each other up and celebrate the year and pick each other's brains for how we can do this together and love on other people and love on ourselves and break through the BS that we tell ourselves sometimes that prevents us from really moving forward. So just being in that energy was awesome, but also watching the celebration, even if it was virtual, like for me, it was such an indication of what is truly possible with Beachbody. Anything, legitimately anything is possible. And consistency matters, and it's the most important part, and showing up for yourself consistently and posting consistently. But if you want it, it's possible. And your team is going to help you get there and probably challenge you a lot to make sure that you get there in the way while you're on your way. So I consider, while I thought I was doing Beachbody before this, I consider Summit as like the point that I will look back on as my year marker and be like, that was my 1 year mark when I decided, like, sorry, excuse my language, but cut the bullshit. This is what I'm doing. This is going to be my job. And next year I'm coming back as a diamond. And that's the reality. That's just what it's going to be. And Brianna has a huge smile on her face right now, but that's what Summit does. It just changes your entire perspective on what the business is and the women that you get to work with along the way. It's just a full circle moment, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going to follow that up because that just, Brittany snaps for that. I'm dying. I just wanted to chat a little bit on that because that got me really fired up. Summit. So I went to Summit for the first time like 2 years ago. I was a coach for like, I don't know, not even 3 months. So like literally by the next year, when Summit rolls around, all of you guys have been a coach longer than 3 months. So like you're more than qualified. Everyone doesn't think they're qualified to go to Summit because they're not coaching or they haven't ranked advanced or they haven't done XYZ to deserve Summit, which is just a bunch of BS. Because literally I went to Summit as a brand new coach 2 years ago. And that's what like literally like the exact same thing that happened to Cam, like flung me into a whole nother level of like, I want to like get the most out of this I can. And so that's going to look different for everyone. But yeah, anyways. So the reason, Andrea, the reason, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I'm like shaky just because of Summit. This is so different than any company ever. So actually, when I first was in college, I used to be a distributor for a jewelry company. And I just felt salesy all the time, or like I was forcing people to buy my product, or that like I was trying to make something happen that like didn't align with my goals and values, because I was really big on like not spending a ton of money and stuff like that. And I was doing it more so, I don't know, whatever. And this company is so different. And that's why I think I'm so excited to invite to it every day. I'm so excited to like bring my people here, like all of you guys who are on here. I'm so excited for, because if I think you never, ever in your entire coaching career sell a challenge pack, I don't think it matters, because if you lean into like what coaching is about and the personal development and the community and all that, your life will be so changed if you let it. So to me, it doesn't even matter how successful you ever are, as long as you let yourself be changed by the process. We want to set standards of like, oh, I need to do this, or like, I need to be a certain rank, or I need to do all these things, but you really don't need to, because the way Beachbody is set up is like, I have never, ever heard of a company besides other like personal development companies or like coaching companies like John Maxwell, that kind of stuff. Like, no other company I've heard of says the most important thing for you to ever do is work on yourself. We heard it time and time again at Summit that they're like, if you feel lost and you don't know what to do, go back to being your best challenger and kick ass in a program and like hone in on your nutrition and like put you first, and then the rest will come. And like, what company says that? Like, throw it, like, if you can't do anything, like just focus on you and it'll come. And so that's why we're so different, and we are literally saving lives. And you listen to coach story after coach story. And if you haven't listened to the coach stories on the National Wake Up Call or whatever, I'm literally shaking as I say this, because we forget that we are in the people business. Like, Beachbody is so unique because we focus on helping people individually reach their goals and to live a better life. And like, I just think of how much my life has been changed. Like, I literally was in the darkest spot ever when I found Beachbody. And so I just wonder like what my life would even look like if I never would have found it. And I know some people on this call can say the same thing, but you hear like, I don't know, coach after coach after coach say like, if so-and-so never would have sent me that invite, I think my marriage would have failed. I think, you know, like, I don't even know if I'd still be here, you know, my anxiety, my depression, like all these things. Yeah, Jess, like, listening to it over and over, it's not just one person saying like, oh yeah, this was great for me. It's like person after person saying like, if so-and-so would have not sent that invite, I would not like be where I am today. And I think that has power. So Summit always reminds me that like the top coach, the top 10 coach, like they literally had to be invited by someone, and they probably got ghosts. Like, they probably ghosted whoever invited them. Like, they probably ghosted their coach. No way in hell were they like, yeah, like, sign me up because I'm going to be the top coach someday. Like, they were probably like most of us who just sat there and were dying inside and needed something. And so we are so, so, so different. And that's why I will, till the day I die, like, be a Beachbody, like, obsessed lover, because it changes everything. And if you lean into that, oh, your world will be different. I just want to be a coach, just so you know. I love that. Yep. Mm-hmm. So.
Do you want me to go next? I don't know who's supposed to go next. Sure? Okay, we'll go for it. We'll see how this goes. See if I cannot cry whatsoever. Fingers crossed. So kind of my main points that I really want to make are all about Summit specifically, and hopefully kind of emphasize on why Beachbody is so incredibly amazing, which Brianna has talked about already so much. So if it gets a little repetitive, I guess good, because I'm totally where Brianna's at. And I think that really just kind of drives home just how incredible this company is, and just how incredible the opportunity is that we have for each of us to make it whatever we want to make it. The first thing I really want to say is that Summit is literally for everyone. It doesn't matter if you are a business coach building your team. It doesn't matter if you are a discount coach purely in it for the 25% off, getting those shakes on sale, wanting cheaper shipping. And even if you're just like a preferred member, if you're literally just here for the community, you are here for the good times, that's great. Because I honestly think, like, Beachbody aside, the community is almost enough to make the event itself exactly what you hope it would be. It is the weirdest thing to me how, for the first time in my life ever, I had never met these beautiful humans before prior to my first event that I met everybody was at our retreat in Arizona just last month. And literally, as soon as I met them, it had felt like we had known each other for years. Like, it felt like I had grown up with some of you. It felt like you had just always been in my corner, a part of my life in some way. And I think that speaks volumes about one, the community that Andrea has built over the last 6 years, but it also just speaks about how genuine this really is. Like, it was not like, I don't even know, like, I didn't buy you guys as my friends. Like, I was lucky enough to find you somehow, some way. And just to get to be a part of this team and this community just makes it, I don't even know. I can't even put it into words because it's everything. So that being said, if whether you're a coach, a discount coach, a preferred member, you are here for a reason. And Coach Summit is one of the best times to just truly check it out, see what it's all about. If you love Beachbody, you love the products, you love what this company stands for, maybe you're obsessed with Joel, like half the women on this team, like, that's totally fine. Respect, like, right there with you. But anyways, like, if that's all you want is just for the experience and you have no hopes of coaching, making this a business, I think that's totally fine, totally acceptable. Like, come have fun with us, honestly. Because sometimes it's that time apart, that time with community, that time with your people, even if you meet them all on Instagram, that can be exactly what you needed at that point in time. I know, like, I literally just saw these humans a month ago and I was already just ready to see them. And I was looking forward to it and I was feeling refreshed and I feel like a new woman since I've been home. My husband was like, he was like, I'm really glad you got to go. Like, you just seem so excited. And like, maybe it's because my goofy smile is not leaving my face. I don't know. But I think it's also wonderful for somebody who is on the fence, genuinely considering coaching. Because if anything, I think you get to see the heart of the company when you get to be at Summit, because you hear those real life stories. You hear from Carl, who's literally a maniac, our CEO. He is the most enthusiastic human ever. And like, everything that he is just very contagious. And you want to just like run up on stage and, I don't know, yell a Beachbody chant. I don't even know. But that's one of the best things ever, is just seeing the genuine energy from corporate. We talked about a lot how, like, they're real humans, even corporate. I'm not even talking about top coaches, but corporate, the people who are leading Beachbody going forward, they are so real that it's like, they're so awkward. It's wonderful. Like, I feel like they are my people too, because they're real humans. And it's just nice to have that validation, knowing that like the company is in good hands. We've been so solid for the past 22 years. And moving forward, like, if you guys saw any of the announcements that they made this week, holy smokes. Like, the amount of new things that are coming out that are accessible to us simply because we are Beachbody On Demand members is unreal to me. And the fact that we get to use our coaching journey to share our personal stories to hopefully encourage others to make a change is huge. And one of the big things this summit was for everybody. Like, Beachbody is literally for everybody, no matter what past experiences you've had, no matter your fitness level, no matter if you know absolutely nothing about healthy eating and nutrition, like no matter where you are starting or picking back up from, it is for everybody. And one of the biggest things right now that we have is just the amount or the increase in statistics of obesity. It's through the roof. And the fact that we have the chance to share this opportunity simply by doing everything that we do every single day, posting our stories, showing up, being live, just having those posts out on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, like that could encourage someone to change their entire life. And that just blows my mind 1000%. And then the last thing, which I think Brianna kind of hit on this. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just seeing like the top 10 coaches and seeing the celebration on that final night was probably the first time that I have not only like said my goals out loud, but it's the first time that I think I've truly believed it. Like I have said it for the last year, probably kind of confidently, like, this is what I want to do. This is what would be nice to be able to achieve, to be able to accomplish. And like Brianna said, you do not have to aim for the stars. If you want to do what you're doing, that is great. It is your experience. You do not have to want to be a top 10 coach or elite premier, whatever it may be. If that's foreign to you, that's fine. You don't need to know what that means. And unless you want to know, then ask somebody. But it just seeing the top 10 people on that final night and actually realizing that they are real humans, realizing that they started at square one, ground one, level zero, just like me, that was probably one of the most eye-opening experiences. And honestly, one of my favorite things, no, and this is nothing against the girl who was, because I can't even remember her name. There was one girl in the top 10 that I did not know her name. And that was the most reassuring thing to me out of all of those top coaches, because I had oohed and awed and followed all of these top 10 coaches for the last year to 2 years. And finally, some girl that looks just like me, she looks like a normal girl, showed up in the top 10. And that was like very, very like my level thing. But I just think the world of her. I need to probably should figure out what her name is. And I just think that is the coolest thing ever, that like that could be any of us. And I'm confident that it will be, maybe even multiple of us. I hope it is. But I think it's important to remember that obviously you have to start somewhere, and it is possible to take it as far and as much as you want to take it, because it is your journey. And that's what's important to remember, that it's not the girl next to you. It's not the girl that you keep following on social media. It's not the girl that you've been stalking for 2 years, that you wish you were like her as a coach. It is your journey and your journey only. Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay, I'll keep it short. I remember when they came out with Summit like last year when we were supposed to originally go to St. Louis, and I like put it off so much. I remember like Brandon asking me, I was like, I'm gonna wait. And I like waited and waited until the last price, and then we went virtual, and it was like, whatever. But I'm really glad that we met in the cities. Like I had never experienced Summit, and obviously it looked different because it was virtual. But being surrounded by such amazing, uplifting women again after Arizona was so awesome. And Summit was really awesome to hear from different coaches and everything. But 2 big points that I kind of took away was that you don't have to be anyone else but yourself, like your true, real, authentic self. And like that was hard for me right away, because I remember asking Brianna when I signed up, which today marks, what is it, 2 years since I signed up to be a coach? Yeah, which is so weird. But I remember asking her, like, do you think I'd be good? Like, I remember this conversation so well. And here I am now, right? Brianna and I are quite opposite. She's very, and I'm like, hello. Like, very opposites of whatever. And that's okay, because, right, if we were the same person, we wouldn't be like, it works because we balance each other, but we find our own tribe. And that's so important when we attract our team and finding our niche. So don't get caught up in thinking what you think a good coach is or what a good coach should look like. And that's what I've been telling my newer coaches now. Like, you don't have to look a certain way. You shouldn't have to be a certain way, because that would be ridiculous, because they'd only go to one coach if we were all the same. And that's what makes this business so great, I think, is that everyone has something different to bring to the table to help push them to become better versions of themselves. I have my notes here. So the more you lean into who you are, it's going to be easier for you to find your niche of people that are going to run with you and chase those dreams together. And simplicity is best is my other thing that I wanted to talk about. I used to think that I had to spend all the time and do all these crazy elaborate things to be a good coach. And Summit just affirmed me that simplicity is best, like doing those 4 vital behaviors. Consistency is key, and that wraps it all together of knowing that you're heading where you want to go. So those are my thoughts.
There were a couple other people that said, maybe I want to share. So I just want to give people that opportunity. Otherwise I can jump in and share some thoughts of my own. Okay, well, if anyone does want to share later, you totally can. Here's what I want well, first of all, let's just do nuts and bolts, nitty gritty. Tonight is the last night that you can buy a Summit ticket for $135. There is no other time in the year that it will be this price. Tomorrow, I believe it goes up to $165. So it's not like this, like, oh my gosh, you're saving 50%, but you are saving $30. So like Brittany said, this is literally for anyone. If you just want a weekend away from being a mom and a wife, and you just want to connect with other people that want to encourage you and love on you and be real with you and have a judgment-free zone where you can choose to literally just be you, no matter what that looks like, and be accepted wholeheartedly, sign up, because you are going to get empowering speeches. You're going to have connected girl time for 4 nights. It's going to be amazing. Like, whether or not you feel like you're a good coach, or I don't think I could do this coaching thing, or I don't want to build a business, like, just show up. You can sit with us. You can be there. You can do this. You should do this, because just having that time away, especially for moms, and no shame on the people that aren't moms, but just know that when you get into mom life, it's like, it's only mom life. And you just kind of get sucked into just like getting everyone snacks and nap time and diapers and all the things. And like, just having those days away is so rejuvenating. And honestly, sometimes husbands can kind of out of work too. So just getting away is good too. I don't want him to hear that. So a couple of things that I took away from Summit. I just want to echo that we are so lucky to do what we do. There are so many other companies, MLMs out there that have incredible opportunities, and more power to them. I want them to be there. I want them to be there for the girls who are obsessed with nails and who are obsessed with hair and who are obsessed with whatever the product is, because that allows them to live out their passion. That we need all different kinds for every single person out there. This team is created of women who want to empower other women. That's our thing. That's like what we get kicks out of, and what we get excited about is lifting other people up. Like, that is the core of who we are and what we do. So how amazing is it that there's a business out there that literally can earn you an income to do that and that only? It's amazing. So if that is you, like, lean into this, try it, give it a go. But I want to end with the consistency piece, because if you are wanting to make this a business, one of the speakers at Summit, I can't even remember how many years she had been a coach, but it was her first time being an elite coach. I want to say she was coaching for like 7 or 8 years. And she was a diamond coach for like the first 6 years. And then all of a sudden her business exploded. And honestly, I feel like 6 years into this, I'm 6 years and 1 month. Nope. We are almost to my 6-year anniversary of signing up as a coach. Like next week, I believe, will be exactly 6 years of coaching. And I dove in with both feet on day one when I signed up, because my husband told me I had 6 months to just do whatever I wanted to do to see if I could make a go of this thing. So I was like balls to the walls, all in from day one when I signed up as a coach. I signed up as a customer first for a whole month, fell in love with the process, became a coach, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, this is the best part of teaching, which is empowering people to do hard things. And I don't have to grade any papers. So I am 6 years into this thing, you guys, and everybody's journey is different. Everyone's journey is different. You will see top coaches that have been only coaching for 2 years and they're in the top 10. 6 years into this, number one, I still love this. Number two, I finally feel like when I hop on a team call, I'm not like pulling teeth and dragging people to be like guest speakers and like sharing their heart. Like, we have finally found our groove and we have linked arms, and it's like this beautiful synchronicity. And my question to you, for those of you who are really wanting to lean into this business thing, is like, are you willing to be here 6 years from now? Like, are you willing to? And if you are, Summit is like the glue that holds you together once a year to just be with this team and community and like reignite that fire inside of you that we all know is there. Because if there wasn't that flame, I mean, why would you even be on this team call right now? Like, there is a flame in there. It gets covered up by all the insecurity and the self-doubt and the devil and all these negativity things, and Sally Sue down the street who thinks whatever you do is stupid. Like, there are many things that can cover that up, but you have to give yourself a fighting chance by coming to these in-person events to fan that flame again, to reignite that love that you have for doing what we do as coaches. So Summit is for anyone. And I want to reiterate and come back to the fact that even if you don't want to be building this massive business, you are welcome to be there, because maybe you're going to have a perspective for us that are building a business that's going to like unlock some magical piece and be like, oh my gosh, I never thought about it that way, when we're having conversation. So you belong there. If you're listening to this, if you're listening to the recording, you missed out on the $135 sale, but you should still be there, because if you show up at the door, I think it's $295. You don't want to pay that price. You want to pay whatever it is the day you're listening to this. And I haven't even read the chat because I'd probably, I don't know, get way distracted or start crying or something. I'm going to end on this. Me personally, as a coach, and you all are coaches, my calling is to lift every single one of you up to whatever level you dream to be at. That is what lights my soul on fire. If you want to be a top 10 coach, you better believe I am like getting to the stadium 3 hours before closing ceremony, and I am saving 4 freaking rows in the front. I don't care if you're 10th out of 10. I am saving those seats. I'm gonna be like, those are my coaches. That would be the best ever, ever, ever. Okay. I personally, just to show you that not everyone has the same dream, I don't have a dream of being top 10. My dream is to be able to make enough income with this money that my husband and I could choose to live in whatever state we want to, regardless of what the medical support is financially. Like, he's in a wheelchair. We need to have people we need to pay PCAs to come and help us. And some states don't support it like Minnesota does. So we couldn't physically afford to live in another state right now if we wanted to move. And I want to have the freedom to be able to live wherever we want to live in this country. That is my driving force. I want to be in the legacy club where I've made $1 million in this business cumulatively. That is what matters to me, and everyone gets to decide what matters to them. And going to Summit helps you define what matters to you in this business, and you get to decide whatever that is, whatever that is. And now I just want to read all the comments. So if anyone would like to share anything or have a question or a thought or
I can share a little
Yeah.
bit. Or Cam, do you have something? I was just going to share like logistically, like what Summit looks like at an in-person summit for those who haven't been there. Essentially, we come on Wednesday, and I think they have an opening ceremony like that night. So we usually travel like that Wednesday there. And some people are driving. Like I know my Minnesota peeps are driving because it's only like 8 hours to St. Louis. If you live around there, you can drive. I haven't decided yet, but the nice thing is they usually pick places that have big airports, so plane tickets are somewhat cheap. And then we all rent an Airbnb together. We have talked about, I know there's some concerns with the safety of St. Louis, so we're gonna find a suburb to stay in, and then maybe like people who do drive there, they could like take us in vehicles and we can find public parking and like park in a parking ramp all day, and we just split that cost. But we're gonna stay in a suburb outside of St. Louis so we can do whatever we want, lay in the yard or have fun outside, whatever, and not worry about anything. So you show up on Wednesday, then they have sessions like training sessions that cover a lot of different topics. And usually they have some different tracks based on where you are as a coach. And then you have like big general sessions where they like make all the announcements. Carl and Michael do like really weird, cheesy skits and dances and make you laugh a lot because they are the weirdest people I've ever seen in my life, which I appreciate because I'm really weird. So it says a lot if they're weirder than me. And then there's super trainer workouts. So like you saw like on BOD, how you could go on and do like a workout with Shanti, like you go into a big like room in the convention center and like you work out with Shanti. Like that's what I did at Summit my first year. Like I picked Shanti's workout and we went there. The year I went, they had Rachel Hollis was the keynote speaker, and I literally like peed my pants because she was like the best speaker I've ever heard in my life. And their keynotes are like hands down the best ever. Like last year, I think they had Kendra Hall that wrote Stories That Stick In is a really good book, but they get like the best, like best of the best speakers. And it's just really powerful. And then they have the Core, which is like a big shopping center, which if you ever look at like, so anything that's on Team Beachbody, products, clothing, any of that is in the Core. And usually like if they have a new launch, like 2 years ago, they launched collagen at Summit. So you could like go buy products, clothing, all that with your discount, but also not pay any shipping on it. It was just really fun to see all that. It's like a Beachbody themed mall, which was super cool. And then they have Super Workout, which if you did the 90-minute super workout and died like we did, you rock. And they do that in the streets of the town. So like literally Beachbody blocks off like blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks and has these big like Megatrons. And you literally work out with the super trainers in the streets, like literally like probably 10,000 people show up to Super Workout. So you're working out with 10,000 other coaches. And it's just like the coolest like thing ever. And then it usually wraps up like Saturday night is celebration. So then people leave like Sunday morning, typically. So it is the best ever. I can't, like, you just have to be there. You have to experience it. And I've never heard someone regret going to Summit. So.
So I was just going to say too, if you need a place that will essentially make what you want more important than what everybody else thinks or making other people comfortable, Summit's it. You need to get yourself there.
Any other thoughts, even if you've been to a summit a different year, or you have any closing words or comments or even questions at this point, we would love to answer them. There's no dumb question. When is Summit? It is in July. I will look it up right now and make sure I get the exact dates. It is July 13th through the 17th. and it's in St. Louis. And we're not going to stay in the downtown area. Just kind of too congested, too much going on. We're going to find a quieter suburb, find a couple Airbnbs where we can just kind of have our own thing and easily drive 20 minutes in. We don't need any Ubers because a lot of us are driving, so we can pile in cars and just share the parking permit cost instead of the Uber cost. And we're going to make it our own little thing.
I was just gonna comment, if you have not, like, if you didn't go to Summit and you have not watched, I believe you still can
Yeah.
watch the recordings. I don't know how long they're up, but watch them. Like, yes, like, I wish I could have been there, logistically, like, and I know being in person with everyone is amazing. Like, after Arizona, I'm like, sign me up for whatever, because I want to be where these humans are. But just watching them this week, I haven't watched them all. I need to finish. But yeah, I literally cried at a couple of them. And then like Holly Hillier's talk about the marketing plan. Like, I'm not big into launches. I just didn't want to be that person. But the way she talked about it, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So you need to watch them. Somebody asked, how long are they up? Are they on YouTube? Last year, didn't they put them on the like champions page later?
They might put them on the champions page later. They've done that in the past. But I do know that they are in the coach office for a long, long time, if not indefinitely. I haven't looked back to see if they have previous summits, but I would think they would be in there at least a full year.
Some of the Build Your Business trainings are actually presentations from previous coach summits too. So it may not be the most recent, but that would give you a feel too for what it's actually like.
Yep. Usually if there's like a big blue screen that says Beachbody behind it, that's typically a summit speech from some time ago. Yeah. But look for them in the coach office, because yeah, there were a ton of incredible ones. Plus with the recording, you have the benefit of being able to fast forward through pieces that, you know, aren't resonating with you, and like just watch what inspires you. There's so many different like strategic things with coaching, and just like coach stories, and it's just filled with good stuff. You just press play on it while you're vacuuming or whatever.
I made the funniest face because I was like, I don't think you could hear it while you were vacuuming.
Well, if you had earbuds in and you like really turn it
Yeah,
up,
that's true.
I don't know. I don't
That's
vacuum
true.
very much.
I don't either. I just have a bug.
You don't.
Coach Summit says that all sessions will be available for 24 hours.
Oh,
I've been working my way through the workouts that were all posted on Saturday.
Huh.
So I did Autumn's workout Saturday when I got home, and I did Joel's workout this morning. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when I get on.
I feel like the trainings are going to be on there.
They'll probably move to the back office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once we find them in their permanent home,
link 'em.
someone can comment in the team page or something.
Hey, can someone explain so everybody knows, because I don't know if everybody knows, how you can actually register for Summit? Where do you go to do that?
Yes, that's a really good idea. So you actually just go to coachsummit.com and it's right on the main page there. So if you do it before, I believe, 11 p.m. Central Time tonight, you do get the $135 price. A great comment to put in here for especially those watching the recording, coachsummit.com.
Can we see a show of hands of how many people have already registered for Summit?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I just think it's really cool to see how many people are already like, I think we have a lot going already. So it'll be fun. It's not like you have to worry that you're going to be the only one, Sarah, because she's in the dark and you can't see her.
Oh, I love it. One other announcement that's not related to Summit, but something that we decided at Summit because it is just, I think, just better for the whole team to be in a larger community. And I think it just raises energy, raises vibes. We are going to be doing team calls as an entire team. That doesn't always mean that I'm going to be hosting. We're going to kind of rotate who's taking it. So that maybe leaders of other teams within our team But we're always going to use the same code. I will put them on the Self Love Dynasty page, and then all the leaders can post on their perspective PS coach pages and downlines. But we're going to have one code for team calls, and then an entire downline, like every single boot camp, challenge group, accountability group, whatever you call it, one Zoom link for a virtual workout space. So it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can set up a time with your bestie, like Cami and Katie do, and they're like, we're going to meet at this time on this Zoom link. But there are going to be people on there that you have never seen before because they're a part of another challenge group within our downline. But wouldn't it be cool to pop in there? It's just going to the gym, you know, where you see people that you don't know, but you know that it is someone connected to this community and they are doing a Beachbody workout just like you. So it'll just help with the accountability piece and just feeling connected as an entire team, just even with customers and our coaches. But we're going to use one code for workouts, one code for all team calls or a work session. So if you want to go through the tracker with a couple of girls on your team, you would use that team call link. That's going to kind of be our coach working link. And reading off the numbers on the team call probably wouldn't be helpful. So I will just post both of these Zoom call codes and the passwords to get in on the Self Love Dynasty page. And then everyone else can kind of share with their peeps. Does that make sense? All right. Yes, you do work harder when you see your friends working out with you on Zoom. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, there is a work accountability Zoom link. Yes, that's another way to think of it. So if you're like, okay, I need to get really focused and I want to reach out to so-and-so and see if they want to do the tracker with me for 30 minutes and we'll hop on Zoom together and crank some tunes and do that. Any other final thoughts, questions? I love you all, as always. So good to see your faces. And I hope to see all these faces in person at some point, whether it's Summit or a Super Saturday or, I don't know, a retreat someday. I will be dropping details of the next upcoming leader retreat that I am already starting to plan, and I hope to have it in March, which will be before Summit, because I can't go a whole year without seeing a lot of these people. So look for that on the team page. And as always, let me know if you have questions. You can post them, message me, message another leader on this team. We're all here to help you. All right. See you later.